Hello Galactic family. Contrary to popular belief, Homo sapiens did not descend from apes. Anyone who doubts this can explore the mystery of the 48 chromosomes count reduced to 46, and the spread of a mutation would have caused an evolutionary disadvantage. There are numerous other reasons that point to some extraterrestrial genetic mix. As the 223 genes that appear nowhere else in the tree of human life. In my understanding, the Pleiadian consciousness was aggregated to so the original humans. But something intervened, ensuring that the appearance of the originals was far from an easy ride. The complex Earth history. I suggest keeping an open mind and just feel like my sharing resonates in you, at least in part. I understand that in the past history of Gaia, the Earth suffered an interdimensional intervention control dating back millions of years, an energy that tried to usurp and shape the trajectory of the planet. Consciousness was suspended in ether and generated many new evolutionary forms, possibly infecting his conscience and human DNA vibration. Just look at the current level of consumption out of control. Benevolence, a solution was needed. The higher consciousness dimensional needed to be integrated as a return bridge to the divine, and for humanity is not lost completely in density. And also, it was necessary to work to create a connection string to the kidnappers, which some call reptilian entities, on the way back to the source. The mission of Pleiades. The Pleiadians were tasked to share DNA via ether, via vibration of light, and the higher consciousness them. This was far from an easy delivery. Original seed fought in the dense atmosphere, and then, early intervention by the consciousness of the kidnapper/abductor, but were all eliminated. I personally met many souls Pleiadian seeds that can remember being interdimensionally ambushes in this plan as soon as they arrived and struggling to survive in density. But the experiment seeding conditionally worked. And from the earliest times, an unusual ancient battle continued in the conscience of man between the upper light and the lower consciousness, trying to control the earth. The dense vibrational consciousness of the kidnapper had won, leading to a desperate decline of the earth and its biosphere, while she was raped and pillaged. But recent changes in consciousness, as the Great Realignment of 2012, has ensured that the higher consciousness dimensional man is once again on the rise, at least for some. Since 2012, I personally experienced numerous realignments and splits. It is these that are directly facilitating the acceleration of Gaia in the Great Shift of 5 AD. This is not a fixed schedule, it's an event line, which should be followed in order to facilitate the smooth and compassionate of possible changes, without the matrix literally be torn apart. Must avoid this potential anarchy at all costs. There are many here from different constellation seeds working alongside the light and those in darkness. But you do not fight in the dark. This simply creates more darkness. As far as practically possible, reconciliation needs to happen and reconnection to the light, so that the souls of rebels, the fallen, can also rise again. This is where humanity comes. Reconciliation, with yourself. You can fight and replace egg kidnapper's consciousness, or you can let the density within himself, as proverbial coals. But the light of the soul shines through every experience. Each frequency must be confronted and realigned, reconnected to source and harmonized within you. This is fundamentally necessary now in order to facilitate a smooth transition to 5 AD consciousness. Reconciliation is needed with the complex energy of the Earth's past. This is where the Pleiadian soul seeds now need to return. Pleiadians return, surge human divine. I know that many soul seeds Pleiadian, to which I connect, are finding challenges here in this density. There will be many feeling what I am about to share, and not even remember their original heritage, no matter. See what resonates you. After exile of ages, there is a resurgence of Pleiadian souls who are now being gathered toward the earth, through the densities, purposely to reconnect with Pleiadian souls incarnated. At the same time, awareness of the rapture which deprives our freedom is increasingly desperate as it detects that the control is being lost. You are fighting tooth and nail through the ether, desperately trying to influence, clutching at straws in the last gasps, which is what we are witnessing in world politics and military intervention. But many are also ready for reconciliation. They feel the end near and that without the realignment, oblivion through the galactic nucleus waiting as the old karmic reality in which they are attached, is unveiled and expurgated. Building bridges with Christ consciousness. When you work with the internal realignment, you are sending out a vibration, a beacon, especially control through the denser frequencies, saying you do not have to manipulate and control for longer. Control lately is not successful in a universe that moves to nirvana, which is balanced harmony everywhere. It is vitally important not to create the densest energies, do otherwise creates division and polarity, the opposite of what we are working to achieve. We have to find high essences. We must accept that everyone has a truth that needs to be honored. Building the bridge, to accept and honor the reality of the other before sharing what you feel to be the highest truth, remembering that the relativistic reality is always a perception. There is no absolute right or wrong. What I'm talking, of course, it is the Christ consciousness. It is a loving energy that is to unconditionally accept all and then work to harmonize with the higher flow across the Red Sea of the previous human karma and ascend to 5D. While I was in Avebury, several times recently in crop circles, working to help reconcile these misalignments in groups, I felt great Christ consciousness waves coming through me. I saw it as a way to offset the highlight of the Pleiadians with the lowest density of the rapture. I could literally feel that she anchored within me. Working together, we within ourselves. I know what I say can be misinterpreted by many, who can laugh the still ignorance, but only an essence of what I am saying resonates, so might as well give you clues on how to work with currents of energy within themselves. Same. Translators note, like the writer of this message, I surpass any personal embarrassment to reveal what happens at the moment of translation, appeared written in this last sentence, without the intervention of mine, the name of Foucault, and that was not mentioned in the text English original. I have been searching on the formulations him as a philosopher, which were about the relationship between power and knowledge, and how these are used for social control. Show people that they are much freer than they think, that they take for real, for obvious, certain themes manufactured at a particular moment of history, and that this alleged evidence can be criticized and destroyed. Michel Foucault. Still surprise, this very moment arrives alert the daily message creator, which says, truth when you perceive is destroyed by what is, you are able to see the truth. After the thrill of finding that the Pleiadians are present giving me support for this translation, as I am numerologist, I seek more evidence. In that time came the message 2439 = 15 = 6. 6 is the number of family and earth consciousness, life, humanity and respect to physical events. Conclusion: control the thoughts and your personal vibrations is essential at this time for the greater good of the planet. Still the translation. Confront, integrate and realign the conscience sequestadora rapture in their lower chakras. Feel the infusion of Christ consciousness through the densities, especially in the heart. Breathe higher consciousness down in the heart region and find reconciliation. Send the vibration of realignment across the field energy to inspire many others as possible. I witness this process, of course, starting to occur. But these are early days yet, and more are needed to help speed up the process, bringing attention to it. You do not necessarily have to fully understand or agree with my share. But if you feel some of these stress formulations that speak, then let inspire you to work on it. In this way, I believe you will find a growing sense of inner harmony and integration within the tumultuous changes taking place. Work within yourself, and together we will succeed.